Hello and welcome to Emily Dickinson Elementary School and welcome to kindergarten. We are so glad to have you and your family and your student join our Emily Dickinson family. My name is Sarah Hayes. I am the principal at Emily Dickinson, and I am so disappointed that we are not meeting in person. Who would have thought that after 2.5 months of such beautiful weather, we would have what we have over the last 2 days? I just knew that you wouldn't want to sit and listen to me for an hour and 15 minutes in 30-degree weather. Due to our school opening policies, we currently are not allowing adults in the building, so we couldn't hold the orientation inside. So I still wanted the opportunity to share with you about the school and all the wonderful things that we have happening, to answer your questions. I know this is a time that is you're excited, but you're a little bit scared, and all those things that happen when you allow your kindergartner to go off to school. So I'm going to answer as many questions as I possibly can, and please know that I'm always available to answer other questions. I invite you to come back at 10 o'clock if you have specific questions. I'll meet you out front and we can talk about anything that I didn't get answered in this short video. So my name is Sarah Hayes. I am the principal at Emily Dickinson, and I am a proud principal. I'm so proud of this school community and so proud of our teachers and our students, and so fortunate to be a part of this. This is my 27th year in education, which I wonder where those years have gone. I taught at the high school I was at the high school for about 19 years. I taught English and math. I served as an assistant principal. I was also the curriculum director for the district for a couple of years, and now I've been at Emily Dickinson for 8. This is my 8th year here, and like I said, I'm so glad to be here. Before I came here as a principal, I was also here as a parent, so I've been involved with the community for about 16 years. My oldest daughter started back at Emily Dickinson in kindergarten about 16 years ago and fell in love with the school then. She had such a great experience, as did all 3 of my children. And so we work really hard to make that same experience for all children. And we hope that that is the case for your child also. So I know that you're getting ready. This is a strange time, and there's lots to think about and lots to do. A couple things that we'd like to ask you to do is to make sure you've turned in your immunization record if you have not done so already. Please update all your email addresses to which you'd like to have school information sent. Sometimes we don't get all those email addresses into PowerSchool when you fill out your all-in-one form, and then certain people aren't getting school information who need to be. So if you have an additional email address that you would like to receive school information, or if you have not been receiving any school information, please make sure that you call the office and we will get that fixed and make sure that those email addresses are being used. And finally, we just ask that you get excited for this new adventure in your child's life. I know it's a time of excitement and also a little time of sadness, and it's a new chapter in a child's life. And we are excited, and we hope you are too. So I want to tell you a little bit about the school. Emily Dickinson actually has been around for 28 years. It was Emily and Morningstar were built the same year, 28 years ago. They opened up when the population started spreading out to the edges of town. And we have been the second largest school for the past couple of years. So we had between 520 and 530 students the past couple of years. Our enrollment is down a little bit this year because of this current situation. We have a number of students who are fully online, but we also have about 430 students that are going to be in the building with us. And so we're so excited to have them here with us. What our motto has always been for the last 8 years, that we are a gritty school. We are all about growth mindset and teaching kids to persevere and make mistakes and learn from mistakes. And that's how we get better. And we're always reinforcing those concepts with kids. So you'll hear your student talk about growth mindset, and it's okay to make a mistake. And it is, because that's how we learn. And that's something that we really believe in. We want to lay a solid foundation for your kids as they go through school, because these are very formative years, and kindergarten is a really pivotal year too. And we'll talk about that as we go through. A little bit more about us. A year ago, probably a year and a half ago, we decided that we needed a new mascot. We hadn't had a mascot at Emily for quite a few years, and we decided we needed one. So the kids voted, and the overwhelming pick was a husky. And one of our teachers, her daughter, who was an art student, designed this beautiful logo, and we rebranded the school. So now we're all about Huskies and Husky pride and doing the right thing as a Husky. So we have, you'll see this logo up quite often all over the school. You'll see things come home with the Husky logo. And you'll also see our mascot that you see in the lower right-hand corner wearing his mask. But we have a mascot that the kids love to see when he comes out. Huskies bark. That is what we do at Emily Dickinson. And bark stands for being respectful, acting responsibly, remembering safety, and spreading kindness. So at Emily Dickinson, those are the 4 things that we live by in the school. And the kids have a little chant about barking and doing the right thing and being kind to others. And we are always promoting these 4 traits in all of our students throughout the year. So be ready to hear about how they are barking at school. We tie that into some behavioral incentives. At once a month, we have Husky Awards where we recognize kids for doing good things around the school. We also have what are called positive paws. When they get caught doing something good, they come down to the office, they get a sticker, and their name goes into a raffle for a little recognition at the end of the month. And finally, students can earn what are called bark bucks. And bark bucks, again, when they get caught doing things that are specifically bark characteristics, being respectful, keeping safe, all of those things, they will earn a bark buck. And then every couple months, Nellie Brown, who is our student support specialist, goes around with her school store, and they can spend their bark bucks on things, pencils and stickers and things like that. So we really promote just doing the right thing and good behavior. And those are some of the programs that we use around our Husky logo and our Husky bark motto. We have 3 kindergarten teams this year, 3 teachers, 3 classrooms. So I wanted to introduce those teachers to you. We have one team taught team. That is, each of them teaches half time. So Hannah Friend and Kathleen Foley each split the day. There's something really nice about the split classroom. They each come in really fresh and ready to go. Mrs. Foley focuses on ELA and writing in the mornings. Mrs. Friend focuses on the math in the afternoons. So that is the teachers for classroom number 1. Our second teacher is Mr. Rollins. Mr. Rollins, this is his 4th year at Emily Dickinson. Love going into Mr. Rollins' room and listening to him play his guitar and sing with the kids. So he does a great job engaging the students through song. And then finally, Mrs. Todd is our current teacher, but she is doing a halftime for a few months as she just had a baby. And so Karen Lasota, who was also with us last year, is going to split that with her through November. So Ariel and Karen will be our 3rd team in kindergarten. We also have a number of specialist teachers that your children will be visiting. We have a really neat specialist program. We're really proud of the exposure that we give to students through specials. So there is a rotation schedule, and your teacher will share that with you and give you those updates. But students will go to music, and they will either have Mrs. Strizich or Mrs. Pafford for general music. They go to health enhancement, and where they'll have Mr. Vincent or Miss Harris, and then they will visit the library, where they will work with Mrs. Stevens or Mrs. Schultz. The rotation, being in school only 2 days a week, they will not hit the rotations like they would if they were here 5 days a week. But know that those specials all even out. They go to a special every day, and that they will eventually get to all those specials. If they don't have a library class, they will get to go to the library at least once a week for a 15-minute book checkout. So we want all kids checking out books and reading at home, and they will get to the library for book checkout. Other important people in our building that your students will see and work with. Our school counselor, her name is Kirsten Marn. This is her 5th year at Emily Dickinson. She goes into the classrooms quite often and teaches what's called Kelso's Choices, which is just important social awareness and making good social decisions. And kids ask themselves, Kelso is a frog. Kids ask themselves, well, what would Kelso do in this situation? And they have a lot of different choices for how they might handle a situation with conflict resolution. So Ms. Marn is a name that you will hear. Ms. Brown is our student support specialist. She is in charge of our positive behavioral incentives, the Bark Bucks and the Husky Awards and all things Husky. And so she is also working with kids a lot on the playground and out in a number of different capacities. And so you will probably hear about Miss Brown. Mr. Harper is our school psychologist and counselor. He's also involved in the school. You'll see him around, and the kids will get to know Mr. Harper also. We also have a Thrive liaison. Her name is Rachel Brown. If you're familiar with the Thrive organization, they just do a lot of great child development programs in the schools. And so the Thrive liaison focuses on 2 areas in particular. One is our CAP program. A CAP program is a great program, if you haven't heard of it, where mentors come into the school and work with kids for a number of different reasons. Sometimes it's for some enrichment. Sometimes it's just to help with some intervention, just to try to motivate kids about their reading or math. Sometimes it's just a friendship, another social outlet. So we usually have about 50 CAP mentors in the schools every year. This year will be a little bit different because right now we are not allowing other adults in the school, but they will be participating in that program online through some Zoom meets. But Rachel Brown also, the second part of her job is a parent liaison. And as a parent liaison, Rachel works with families as that bridge between school and home. And sometimes people just need that little extra to help them find resources or help communicate with the school. She offers a number of educational programs like Thriving Kinders and Rising Second Graders, and we have a number of educational programs. So Rachel will be reaching out. She makes new parent phone calls to all of our new kindergarten parents, and Rachel will be reaching out to you. So please know that she will be calling everyone and just welcoming everyone to the school, asking about any questions that you have or anything that she can help with. She is a fabulous resource, a nice bridge between the community and the school. So we really encourage you to reach out to her if you have any questions that you feel like you can't get answered, or you would like to reach out to her just for some extra support. Our administrative assistant is Lori Dowse. She is in the front office, and she answers the phone, and that's who you're talking to often when you're calling in. Lori's great. If you need anything, she's a big help. I don't have a picture of Erin Griffith because she's new this year. Erin has been the PAC president, our Parent Advisory Council, the president for the last few years, and we were lucky enough to hire her this year as our assistant secretary. So Erin will be in the office, and she will be the other voice that you hear when you call in. Okay, so what does this week look like? This week, today, you're dropping your students off so they can do some kindergarten stations. And what's involved with those stations? Well, and why do we do it? We run the stations just to balance our classrooms. We look for, areas that students might, excel, and some areas that students might need some help, and then where might do we have a lot of very shy students? We don't want all of them in the same class. We want to balance those with some of the more outgoing students. So the whole purpose of today is just to watch them play and interact and balance our classrooms so that we can provide the best educational opportunity we can. So today and tomorrow we'll do kindergarten stations with our students. And then on Thursday, we will put them into classes and notifications will be sent out. So you'll get a notification of who your teacher is. That will come through email. And then you'll get a call from the teacher saying, welcome, and we're so glad that you're here. And they will tell you about what Friday looks like. Friday, just because of the inability for parents to come into the school, we're going to do some short little classroom visits. They'll be short, 15, 20 minutes, but the students will have an opportunity to go to their classroom, see their cubby, know where their line is. So when they show up on Tuesday or Thursday of the following, or Monday or Thursday of the following week, they'll know where to go and they'll have a sense of what their classroom looks like and who their teachers are. So that's the schedule for the week. And then next week, next Monday, the 14th, will be the first full day for A through L students. And Thursday will be the first full day for M through Z students. So what are we trying to accomplish in kindergarten? Kindergarten is one of the most important years of a student's K through 12 schooling. I believe that, and I know the teachers do too, and we want it to just be the best experience for them. They should love school in kindergarten. They have the opportunity to do all sorts of things, to meet kids, to play, to learn, and all of that is structured in a way that really engages them and makes them want to come to school. So our philosophy is we want students to learn to love school. They should love kindergarten, and that's what we're striving for. They should learn really important academic and social foundations. What does school look like? What does it mean to be a student? What do we do? What are routines? How does that look? They'll focus on those foundations, their alphabet and phonics skills and number skills. And teachers will communicate with you throughout the year as to where they should be with their academics. But we really want those foundations. And we want to prepare them for first grade because first grade is a big jump. In first grade, it becomes much more academic. And so we want to give them that great balance in kindergarten so that they're ready for first grade and they love school. What does that mean? What does the day look like? Well, our school days are full. They are full of lots of different things. There is a big emphasis on phonics and reading. Phonics are those sounds, like the sounds that letters make and how words go together. And so teachers will spend a lot of time on phonics. They will spend a lot of time on math and playing with numbers and looking at patterns and seeing how things fit together. All of those things are so essential in learning mathematics. They will spend time on what's called number corner, which is where they get to sit around and look at the pattern and try to figure out why something is doing what it is and what is the answer to that and what do you predict. So there'll be all sorts of great opportunities for them to participate in these different math sort of games. Additionally, we'll do science and social studies. They'll be involved in Project Lead the Way, which is a hands-on STEM curriculum, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. They'll be doing some social studies, which is, building relationships and community and learning about those things. They will also do a lot of social skills. Part of being in school is learning how to get along with people and how to get through conflict and how to make friends and all those things that are so important that you learn in kindergarten. They're going to go to specials. We've talked about that before. They're going to go to recess and they're going to play and have a great time. And they're also going to have some free play, which is so important to developing those relationships and those foundations also. So I know your teachers will talk about this and what their classrooms look like, but know that our days are busy. Kids are here for 7 hours and they do a lot and they'll be tired at the end of the day. And that's great because that means they worked hard and they learned many different things. Okay, so a little bit about important information just about the different programs and things that we have going on at the school. Lunch. Right now, we do not have a breakfast program. I know that some schools do. We do not. So we do not feed breakfast. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. Hot lunch, because of a school program associated with what's going on with COVID, right now, hot lunch is free for all students. We will notify you if that changes. Students will have a choice of peanut butter and jelly or another item, and they will hot lunch, if they choose to, will be free. Students can bring their own lunch, of course, to help minimize the risk for our para staff in terms of getting in the middle of all the kids and cross-contamination. We're going to ask that please pack things that your student or your child can open. Go-Gurts, Capri Suns, string cheese, those things get kind of hard for the kids to open. If we could try to minimize that by maybe starting that so they could just pull it open. Of course, we're there to continue to help. We have a plan where the students will bring their items to the end of the table. But if you can pack things, bring things to the end of the table so that they can be opened. But if you can pack things that they can open on their own, we would greatly appreciate it. We've always encouraged families to come have lunch with their student, but as I've said before, right now we are not allowing adults in the building. So currently, we do not offer lunch with your children. We hope that at some point we can offer that and open that back up. Recess. Important information about recess. Recess is a very important part of the school day. Kindergartners have recess 3 times a day, every day, and we go out in all types of weather. So unless it's just absolutely pouring rain or the air quality is so bad we can't be outside or it's below zero, we do anything above zero without, a wind chill or whatever, students will go out. So please make sure that your children are dressed appropriately. Pack them a bag with all the different things they need, and just make sure they have that here at school. Nothing's worse than seeing someone who's really cold outside, and we want them to be nice and warm and ready for the day. I also encourage you, beg you actually, to put names in their clothing. We have a lost and found. You would be, if you've never been in the school, you would be amazed at the lost and found. Often, especially if it's a warm day and kids go out to recess, they will shed those coats and those mittens and everything and leave them on the playground. We do pick those up. If there's a name in them, we can return them immediately. If there isn't, then often they sit there for quite some time. We do donate at the end of a couple months. We donate clothing. And so please, please, please put your child's name in the clothing so that it is not donated and that it can be returned. That helps immensely if you will take care of that. Morning drop-off. Our car drop-off loop is on the east side of the building. So there will be adults for the next couple weeks directing you on how to move in that car loop. We have playground supervision starting at 8 o'clock. And so you're welcome to drop your kids off at 8, and they will be out there till 8:15. We ask that when you pull in the car loop that you keep pulling forward till you can't pull forward anymore. We have a lot of cars we got to get through there. We ask that you don't park and get out of your vehicle because that just slows everything down. So there will be adults to help you. Eventually, there'll be some safety patrollers who can open some of those doors and help the kids get out also. And we ask that students exit from the passenger side of the door or passenger side of the car. We do not want anyone getting hurt. We do not want anyone getting hit. And so we need the students to exit out of that side. If you arrive by walking or biking, everybody's going to walk around to the playground, especially with our new protocols around COVID. Everybody needs to walk in with their class. So nobody's going to be allowed to come in through the front doors at this time. And so everybody needs to walk around and meet their class. Unfortunately, again, we are not allowing adults to come into the building to say goodbye. So there is a silver lining in that, and that's a hard one, but promoting that independence and having the kids say goodbye on the playground. We need your help to promote all of these things. We need your help to promote parking lot safety. Please be a good example for your children and walk across the crosswalk, obey the signage, find a parking spot. Don't let them jump out in the middle of the street. I know it probably sounds crazy, but those things happen. And so please help us keep your kids safe. After school, there's two options. The kindergarten teachers will walk the students out the front doors, where if you are waiting to pick your student up in the front and walk home or bike home, or you've parked up 25th or on a side street, you may meet them there as the teachers walk around. We ask that you make contact with the teacher and make sure the teacher knows that you are taking your child. If you want to come through the bus loop and you don't want to get out of the car or the car loop, we are excited for that too. The students are going to walk through the front. Anyone who gets picked up will leave from there, and then they will go back to their zone where they will wait to be called to their car. So we're going to have everybody put a sign in their front passenger window, your last name, the names of your children, and their grades. And there will be an adult who walkie-talkies and calls the students over once they see that your car is there. Again, please do not park in the car loop. Please do not get out of your car. We will radio and make sure that the kids are there. These are all safety. These are practices for safety, and we need everyone to follow the same rules. And so please, please, please make sure that you follow the pickup and drop off protocols. Something to talk about your student about, something to talk with your student about is attendance and arriving on time. And kids, of course, can't get themselves here, and they need your help, and they need your help to be here on time. And so one of the most important routines that you can set up in kindergarten is good attendance. And regular attendance, when kids are in school, they benefit so much. And you can see some of these facts from the National Association of Elementary School Principals. Students with regular attendance are more likely to read well by third grade and score higher on tests. They tend to be more engaged. They feel better about themselves. Missing 18 or more days of school a year puts a child's high school graduation at risk. So this is one of those foundations in kindergarten that we really want to establish. And of course, this is, again, a crazy year because we have only 2 days of school a week, or in-person instruction a week. Even that engaging every day with the online learning system, Canvas, and you'll get information about that. You don't need to worry about that right now and be overwhelmed. But engaging every day and showing kids the importance of school is so important for their whole future. And Additionally, being on time, it makes such a difference for kids. When they walk in late, they've missed the morning message, they've missed attendance, they feel behind, they haven't had that chance to check in with their classmates. It causes anxiety. So having kids on time and having them here as much as you possibly can. Of course, if they're sick, they can't be here, but those are such important patterns that you want to establish and routines that you want to establish early on. Kindergarten supplies, and again, your teachers will talk about these kindergarten supplies. We need everybody to be wearing a mask. Everybody's going to need a mask, and if you have a couple of them to send with kids, that's great. Kids are going to wear their mask every time they're in the building, and then first thing in the morning and after school on the playground. We are going to be able to give them mask breaks. At recess, they're going to walk to the playground. Every child's been given a lanyard. They're going to a breakaway lanyard, so if it gets tugged on, it'll break. They're going to clip their masks to their lanyard and then go out and tuck that into their shirt and play, hoping that we don't drop those masks on the playground. But if we do, again, having their name on it will be great because then we can get it back to them. But we'd also like them to have a clean mask. So that if that's been on the ground, they have an opportunity to put on a clean mask. Additionally, they need a water bottle. The drinking fountains have been turned off. We do have bottle fillers, so they still have the opportunity to get water, but they need their own water bottle. A little bit of hand sanitizer for them individually with their lunch or whatever. They will be washing their hands before they eat and hand sanitizing when they leave. But they may need their own little hand sanitizer. You can include that. This year, we've always done shared supplies in kindergarten. We're not going to be able to do that. So your lists have been provided by the teachers, the crayons and markers and those things, but everybody needs individual supplies. We won't be sharing them. Clothes, we've talked about that. And then they need an iPad or some appropriate device at home, a tablet. If they can run a Chromebook or a computer, that's great. But they will need some sort of computer device in order to participate in learning the other 3 days that they are not here. We have sent out a checkout form. If you did not get that or have lost that email, please, let us know. We'll send it to you again. But you are able to check out iPads from the school. As soon as they're all available, we will get those checked out to you. Since you can't come in the school, I thought it would be important to give you a little overview of virtual tour through pictures. And I'll explain to you, if you haven't been in the school, as much as I possibly can. So if you walk in the front doors, you can see we've got a Husky welcome sign on the right. And when you walk in, there's a lot of Husky signage hanging around. Our first one is a welcome and a congratulations for being a Husky and talking about Husky pride. And so those signs hang around the school about being a Husky and what that means. After you enter, the first door on the left is our music room. And you can see 2 pictures of that here. So you'll walk up, right in there is the music room. And you can see all the instruments and the composers that decorate this room. This is Mrs. Strizich's room. The stage, which is the next room to the left of the music room, it is a multi-purpose room, but this year it will serve as the second music room. And you can see it's just a nice big space, and the far end is being devoted just to a classroom music space. So our stage is a great area, and Mrs. Pafford will be teaching in there. On the right, when you walk in, is the main office, and here is where we help students and families with their questions. It's bright and cheery. It's yellow and turquoise and purple, inviting, and kids are down there, and we encourage them to ask us questions and come down. Our health aide, Miss Nakori, she also has an office here, and you can see that. So when students get hurt or they're not feeling well, they will come down to the main office. Walking straight into the building on the left after the stage are the two gyms. You can see in this picture the gym, that wall with those steps, that wall opens up onto our stage where we host different performances. We do the holiday program. We have different guests come in and perform. So the stage is used when we have assemblies. Whether or not we have assemblies this year, we don't know. But at this point, we won't. But that is a space that we like to use for those performances. You can see just a little glimpse of the first gym. And the second gym also serves as our lunchroom. The tables, the picture on the right with the grid, those tables come out of the wall and they pull out to make our lunch table, our lunchroom. On a normal year, you can see the hot lunch door. The kids go through that door, exit out the second door. That's where they pick up hot lunch. They won't have to do that this year. Hot lunches will be delivered right to the table. You can see that the kids will be staggered at the table in a zigzag pattern to try to, limit their contact with each other. Lunch menus are up and lunch times are posted. If you have any questions about that, just let us know. Also, when you walk into the school, if you were to walk straight in and keep going, the room there is the library. We have a beautiful library with a wonderful collection of books. Students do go into the library for one of their specials. And like I said before, they will go in to check out books. We have three major wings of the school. There is a K2 wing, which is for kinder through second grade. We have other second through third grade classes. If you walk straight into the school and go all the way down the hall, that is that wing. And then we have a fourth and fifth grade wing. The kindergarten wing is if you walk in and you were to turn to your right after the main office, that is the kindergarten wing. And that is the picture on your right. That would be walking down that hallway. This is a kindergarten classroom. One of our teachers, you can see it's bright and inviting. The students have tables. They have cubbies and lockers down there where they put their things. And you can see a number corner up in the upper left-hand corner, a number corner grid. So each day a new one of those tiles is turned over and the students look for different patterns, etc., that we talked about earlier. But this would be a glimpse of what a kindergarten classroom looks like. The K2 wing has its own bathroom. We've also established a number of hand washing stations. The drinking fountains have been removed and turned into hand washing stations. So this is an example of what that looks like. You can see the soap and the paper towel, and then the faucet handle where that used to be a drinking fountain. So the students will be washing their hands 6 to 7 times a day, and these stations will be well used throughout the year. So how do you stay informed and how do you get involved? Being new to the school can be overwhelming. We try to keep you updated and without inundating you. It's a problem with email. We'll send emails regularly. You'll hear if you see something from Lori Dowse or Erin Griffith or myself, those will be good school information. We have a monthly newsletter, and your teachers will be communicating with you once a week too. Like I said, I know this is a new experience for many of you. This is your first time in school. We try to cover a lot, but everybody has questions. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Another great opportunity for information and just a great way to participate in the school is our PAC, our Parent Advisory Council. I am always just honored to have worked with our PACs in the past. We have done some amazing things. So proud of our playground and the work that was done that was a community project. We built that 3 years ago. We built our fort. It was just a labor of love for our students and just a great community activity. And so I really encourage you, if you're new to the school or even if you're not new, to get involved with PAC. Currently, as I told you before, Erin was our PAC president. She took a job as the secretary at the school and just cannot do both jobs. So if we are looking for people for our executive board, we need a president and a vice president. That could be a dual president position where we could have a couple people participating in that. This would be a great year because of the inability to do all the events we always have. It would be a great year to step in and learn about the PAC and the role of the president or vice president. So if you do have time and would be interested, please, please, please reach out to us. We are in need of these positions, and we need to move forward. We need people who are interested and who are willing to donate some time. So, like we said, this is probably a good year to do it. We In the past, we've done so many events. We do bingo, we do the fun run, we do movie nights. The money that we raise goes to artist in residency for kids. And we've done great school projects like building the fort. And there's just so many benefits to the PAC and the work that we do. Please consider being involved and let me know if you have some interest in that. This is the contact for the PAC. If you would like to be involved, you can contact that address. So a lot of parents will ask, well, what should I be doing at home? What should we be doing to be ready? And especially now, we're only here 2 days a week. What kind of things can we do? So, the most important thing you can ever do with your child is just read, 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 read. Reading builds such incredible foundations for vocabulary and word structure and sentence structure and just exposure to language. So read, read, read with them. Play games, play board games, have them count, have them be involved, learn how to take turns, learn how to lose, learn how to win. All those things are important in playing games. Talk to them and use lots of rich vocabulary. It's amazing what kids will pick up on, but the more words you can expose them to in these early years, the better. And count everyday objects. Have them count the forks for dinner, or have them count chocolate chips to put on a pancake or something like that. Just get them involved with counting and one-to-one correspondence. So the first day of kindergarten is coming next week. It's an exciting day. It's a day to remember. It's a day of tears. I cried every single time. And it's a day of excitement. So when students arrive next either Monday or Thursday, they will go right to their kindergarten zone on the playground, and the teachers will show you that. Everyone's going to be wearing a mask, and so they need to be doing that also. When the bell rings, they'll line up by their classroom number, and their teachers will be out there to meet them. Their teachers will be out there early to meet them too. And it's a great time to take pictures and give hugs and tell them how proud you are of them, and they'll be excited, and they'll be scared. Some of them will be scared. Some of them will walk in like they own the place. It's always one of the it's so much fun to watch them walk in and see their different reactions. But at that point, we're going to ask you to say goodbye on the playground, on the blacktop, and the students will walk in their classrooms, and the day will start. I know there are a lot of questions about COVID and school procedures. I did send out a document last week that just outlined everything that we're doing to help keep kids safe. So if you have other questions, make sure you ask. We're doing a lot, and just making sure that everybody is staying safe as we can in this environment. As I said before, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call or email me. Look forward to meeting all of you in person. If you would like to return today a little bit early, I will be outside to answer questions. We'll meet in the front of the building and answer any questions that you may have about school that I didn't get covered here. Thank you for participating, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.